Hello everyone, and welcome to the review of the MJX Bugs 6. There are a lot of bugs out there right now. There is the Bugs 3, which was the first bug in the series. Then we had the Bugs 2, the GPS quadcopter, which is very smart and very cheap. After that, we got the Bug 6 and the Bug 8, which are actually the same quadcopter, and there are going to be some other bugs which hopefully we'll see soon, but we'll talk about that at the right time. So today we are going to take a look at the Bug 6. What I like about the new MJX product is that they are very fair with specification, description, performance, and especially pricing. So you can see from the start, this is an entry-level ready to fly racing drone. It's not the fastest in the world, it's not reinventing the wheel, it's just fair, it's entry level, and it's a racing drone. So we'll see how that is really. So quick specification, it has brushless motors, it has a 4-in-1 ESC, so it takes less space and less weight. It's easy to change if something goes wrong, and it's very cheap, so it's not a problem that there are 4 ESCs in one. And on the box we get some glimpse of what is inside. You'll get the transmitter, spanner, propellers, battery, charger, and of course the drone itself. So let's see what we actually get in the box. This quadcopter is sold in multiple variants, and although the quadcopter is the same, there are different accessories that come with it. And this is a tavern bar. It doesn't want to come out of the box, so we'll do it this way. And yes, this works almost anytime and every time. So let's see if I can break this up. Yes, and this is what we get inside. So there are some manuals inside, not only for the quadcopter, and it's about the camera, the monitor, the quadcopter itself. We get some nice bug stickers and a quick guide, and all of that because this quadcopter supplied by banggood.com comes with some optional accessories, such as FPV camera, which is not installed, and you get the chance to do it yourself install, which is nice. You will get a custom better with the quadcopter, and an FPV monitor which has a built-in receiver. You will see that working very soon. Let's see what else we get in the box. So here we have a pivot for fixing the monitor on the transmitter, and a micro USB cable to charge the internal battery of the monitor. We get a balance charger that runs from USB, which is yet another weird thing. So this takes 5 volts. It takes a lot of amps. It says here 1 amp or 2 amps. At least it's a range between 1 and 2 amps, and will output 7.4 volts or 11.1 volts. Actually, it's nominal voltage for 2S and 3S LiPo, so you can charge 2S and 3S batteries from a USB port. Of course, this will probably take ages to charge your battery, but what is nice about it, you can actually connect this to a power bank, take it with you, and you can charge on the field. But there are better chargers than that, so well, not really going to use it. So we also get a monitor shade when you fly outdoors in a sunny day. We get this so-called spanner to hold on to the lock nuts of the motor, so you can take them off. We get silicone washers like on the Bugs 2, and a screwdriver, and of course the drone itself, which looks very nice. It has a aggressive look, and it does have some bug resilience. It does kind of look like an insect with these tiny legs. The overall design is nice. It's not boring like on most other quads. So what else we get here? We get another set of propellers, a spare set of propellers, and of course the transmitter, which is on the other side. So I'm gonna take this out and gonna remove the plastic from it gently. And here is the transmitter. No LCD screen. We get trimming buttons, and this is not a trimming button. For this is throttle because it's mode to transmitter, and we get trimmings for forward, backward, side, left, right, and yaw. And of course we get some side buttons. This is for camera, and we'll see what those other will be. So let's move on to the quad itself. The Bugs 6 comes with the LiPo already inserted in the quadcopter, and it again has a plastic casing to protect the battery, which is nice, but this takes a lot of extra space and adds some additional weight. But the good thing is that you get the bracket installed, so you can always fit a larger LiPo. You only need to adapt to use XT30 connectors, which can be found online, so it's not an issue. So one big plus, because they are still not using proprietary batteries, which I really hate. So the battery is a 2-cell battery, and it only has 1300 milliamps, so this will provide a few minutes of flight time, but I won't expect more than 10 minutes out of this, because it's a racing quadcopter. So probably a realistic estimation will be 5 minutes, 7 minutes of flying. Probably if you are very gentle you can get somewhere under 10 minutes, but you will never go over 10 minutes with this LiPo, but you can always fit a larger one. About the motors are once again the plastic cased motors like on the GPS Bugs. I don't have anything against them. On the Bugs too, they perform really nice. They provide plenty of power, no heating issues, no vibration issues, so they work just fine. So I don't know how they come up with this idea, but it simply works, and we'll stick to them. Also, I think that you can probably not notice from the video, but I'm going to tell you. This quadcopter uses more aggressive pitched propellers, so they will move more air than regular propellers on the other Bug series, and this is probably for giving it more thrust when you are doing some fast FPV flying, which is nice. So I'm going to also install the camera, the FPV camera, and with this occasion we can take a look at it. So it comes packed really nice. You get another screwdriver besides the screwdriver here, so you get accessories for each optional accessory you get with the box. So we get screws, we get the camera, we get the screwdriver, and the camera will go right here. It even has the connector pre-soldered here, so it's just a plug and play additional camera, no other things that we need to do. The camera also has a tiltable lens, which is nice because when you are flying FPV, the quadcopter is always pointed to the ground, and you need a camera which permits moving the lens upward like that, so the quadcopter can be tilted down and the camera will still look straight, so you will see where you are flying and not see the ground. Under this foam padding here you will find the ESC combo. So for you I'm going to take this gently off. So this is the 4-in-1 ESC. You can see the motor drivers on each corner. So this group here is for this motor, this group for this motor, and so on, and it's all on one single board. Easy to replace. If something goes wrong you just take them out. It doesn't have any kind of connector for the motors, so they are soldered here. Also they are soldered to the control board, which is underneath, so the ESC is commanded from here and each motor is connected here, and they are all soldered. No easy way to replace the wires, so you will have to take them off and solder the new board if something goes wrong and you need to replace those. Alright, so I'm going to install the camera. I'm going to make a bit of space with those wires, and this should go in like this, and yes, it has entered in its place here perfectly, and you can adjust the camera nicely. You even get an extra screw. You need 3, but they have supplied 4 in case you're probably going to lose one. You still have a chance of putting all 3. The first screw is in, and the second one, and the last one. And the camera is already installed. Now we need to put the connector. The wires are a bit short, so I'm going to try to connect them. Definitely should work, but this is very short. You need to fiddle a bit to connect it. So it's now connected. Also you have here an micro SD card slot, so the camera will record locally the video files, and will also transmit FPV with this attached antenna. And you get this bracket here like the one on this side. This one is for the control frequency, and this is the camera FPV antenna, and I'm going to take it out through this opening, and I'm going to clip it here like this. And now I have the FPV antenna also installed outside. I'm going to leave minimal amount of wire on the outside because I don't want to break it. It's also important that you don't bend this in very sharp turns, because coaxial cable has issues with that. It can deform inside and have all sorts of problems, so you should always take gentle bends with it and not overdo it. So camera is installed. I'm going to put the cap back, which just snaps into place, and now I have the camera. Forgot to mention, here are some dip switches on the camera, and if you look into the manual, the camera's manual, those are for setting the frequency of the FPV, and the same applies for the monitor. So you need to match them, and you get a table here inside, and these are the channels that the camera can transmit. And this is for the monitor. You have a table here, the frequencies that are compatible with the monitor, so you need to find the channel that you have set on the camera in this table, and then set the monitor on the same frequencies to match them both. Otherwise you're only going to see just static. Until the monitor gets some battery power, because it's completely flat, I'm going to quickly show you the remote control buttons and what they do. First, the LH button here. It's for turning on or off the quadcopter lights. Short press it to turn on or off. Keeping it pressed for a few seconds, it will change the speed mode of the quadcopter. It has two modes, which is fast and slow, and that dictates the angle of which the quadcopter will travel at, and that will also increase or decrease its speed. This is for unlocking or locking the motors. This one is for doing flips. This quadcopter, being an entry-level racer, it doesn't have a manual mode, it doesn't have an acro mode, so it's always in stabilized mode. You can do automatic flips. You hold this button press and you give it the direction you want it to flip, and it will automatically flip. And this one is for taking pictures or video. Short press will take a picture, long press it will make a beep confirmation and start recording video. Another nice thing about this transmitter and quadcopter is that it has a kind of telemetry, so the transmitter will warn you when the control signal is getting low, so you will know that you can return with the quadcopter and not lose the signal. And it will also warn you that the quadcopter has low battery, so you know also to bring it back home and avoid a crash due to that, which is very nice. You don't find these kind of things on other quadcopters, especially very cheap ones like this. So definitely a big plus. As you can see, a simple transmitter with simple buttons, nothing with fake LCDs and things like that, but it will give you exactly the warnings that are most important to get. So I'm going to put the cap back now, and I'm going to insert the battery. When you first power the quadcopter on for the first time, you will probably have to bind the transmitter to it, and to do that you need to keep the red button pressed while you turn on the transmitter, which I'm going to do right now. And this is flashing, it's in binding mode, so now I'm going to connect the battery, and it's now binded steady light. So if I press lock unlock motors, it already works. So that is fine, and let's see if we can get some FPV footage. Let's see the lights. Yes, it works. So the lights turn on or off by long pressing the button. And probably the speed gets changed by short pressing. It's interesting that the red LEDs don't light up. I'm going to figure out why later. So let's hope the monitor got enough power to start. And it has power, and guess what? It's already preset on the same default frequency as the camera, and it works just nice. And we get this RSSI information. This should be related to the camera signal strength, so we will probably know when you are going to lose FPV, or maybe this is the indication from the quadcopter, but I highly doubt that, because it's only a 3-wire camera, so it has power and control, so definitely just FPV signal strength, but it's still okay. And it shows us an error that it doesn't have an SD card inserted, which is correct. So you can change the channel from this button here, I'm going to go back to C1. Seems to be C1. Does this has auto scan? I don't know, probably yes. No, no auto scan, just simple conventional manual scan. And it has a lot of extra channels, so you can use this monitor with other quadcopters as well. Alright, so you get a light adjustment button which will loop the settings from the maximum to the minimum, which is nice because you can adjust that. And you have another switch for contrast. You are going to probably end up using it always on maximum because outside you get a lot of light and glare. And this button here shows us some indicators like crosshair in the middle and some guidelines on the side to aid you in piloting, so you are going to get a better understanding of your quadcopter, if it's going down or what is pointing at, which is maybe helpful. I don't know if it's helpful or not, but you can turn it on or off, so that's okay, because if it's not helpful you can always disable it. Another nice feature of the quadcopter is that it has a lost alarm built inside and a beeper, so if it gets out of signal, it will beep and flash the red LEDs on the back, so that will help you find it in the bushes, which is very nice. So if you turn off the transmitter or it falls out of range, you have a lot more chances of finding it. Yet again, very nice, because at this price you generally don't get any kind of features like this. So having an alarm already set up and working on it is very nice. Before ending the first part of this video and getting back to you on the second part with the test flight, I need to do one more thing. I need to peel this off, and that was brilliant. So now the monitor is easy to be seen, and the image will look, of course, better. So the protection foil is off. So this was the first part of my Bugs 6 or 8 review. Mine is called Bug 6, but you can buy it as a Bugs 8. It's the same drone. I hope that you have liked it. I have tried to show you all the things that you get with it and how they function. There is another packaging of this quadcopter where you get an extra set of goggles. The goggles work with the same monitor. You just slide this in and you get a plastic headset, which you are going to wear it strapped on your head, but it uses the same monitor, so it's very well thought and it's economical. It's to be seen how good the FPV system will work in a real life situation, about its range and so on. I'm going to see if we get some good range or bad range out of it, and here in the manual you don't get any kind of information about the output of the FPV, so I don't know what range you are going to get. And of course the micro SD card is optional and not included, so you need to provide your own. So until next time, be sure to check my other videos that I'm going to upload, and I'm going to soon take it for a flight. Until then, bye bye.